All right, welcome everybody to another edition of hashtag NBA Together. I'm Ernie Johnson. I am coming to you from beautiful Brazelton, Georgia, about 45 minutes north of the city of Atlanta and 45 minutes north of the Studio J over at Turner Studios. And what we're doing with this over the last couple of days, we had Commissioner Adam Silver on. We're just kind of reconnecting with folks who have voice in the NBA, guys who are influential, and it's just to catch up, see what's going on, how you getting through this thing, and really enjoyed our time with the commissioner the other day, talking not only about where the league might be going, but talking about personally how he's dealing with. His wife Maggie is pregnant, is due here in the next month or so, and the stress that has caused. So we're talking real life stuff. We're talking hoop, and we're thrilled to have Damian Lillard with us today. Dame, thanks, man. I appreciate the time you're taking to hang with us today.
All good, man. I appreciate you having me. We obviously don't have nothing but time.
This is true. So give me your normal day under these circumstances. Can you kind of walk me through it?
My son just turned 2, so he get up every morning about 7:30. And I'm usually still asleep because I got to get up and go to practice, but I'm getting up. Sometimes I got to make him breakfast, change him, put him back in his bed, turn on his cartoons, entertain him, take him outside, put him down for a nap. Then I go work out while he's napping. Then I come back, he want his lunch. After he eat lunch, he want to watch his TV shows. It's like a full-time job. So I've been having a really busy day just chasing him around for them terrible.
Who is that? What did we just hear in the background, Dave?
My son probably doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. So my fiance yelling at him.
Hey, I got 6 kids, man, and I've been down that road more times than I can count.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
So let's talk about that just a little bit, though, man. You've got a 2-year-old son. Can you even think back to 3 years ago when you did not have a child? Do those times even feel like they existed?
It's hard to. I mean, like when it comes to my career, I remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember those years of my career, but I can't. It's hard to remember, like, okay, now when the game is over, I'm like, let me get back home to, try to see my son before he go to sleep. Or after shoot around, I'm trying to make sure I catch him before his nap, before I take my nap. So it's like my world is kind of built around him. And, it's been like that for the last 2 years. So I can't really imagine or think about, what it was like before, but it's a lot different. It's a lot different.
What's your breakfast specialty when he wakes up and needs to eat?
My son is a fiend for eggs. Like if we run out of eggs or if he eat all his eggs and he's still hungry, he'll start crying and kicking and throwing stuff. Like he's a real egg person. So I get him some eggs. I make sure I get him some fruit. He like toast. He like pancakes. He drink almond milk like none other. So I mean you get him, a few of those things, and he's set. Put on Paw Patrol. He loved Paw Patrol and Mickey Mouse. So you get
the hot dog song, huh?
Yeah.
On Mickey Mouse, yeah, for sure. I got grandkids now, so I'm going down that road again. Yeah, Hot diggity dog, yes, sir. Yeah. So how many shots you able to get up in the course of a day now while you wait to see when and if play resumes?
Man, I haven't. I mean, I got a court outside my house, and I've kind of shot around out there, just messing around a little bit. But as far as like a real workout on the court and like in a real gym, I haven't shot a ball since they told us we couldn't go into our facility, like whatever the date was behind that, because they're not allowing us to go into our team facilities, no third-party facility. They pretty much got us on lockdown. So I mean, other than shooting outside on my hoop outside, I haven't been getting shots up. I just got my fitness center at my house that, fortunate for me, I built that out.
Right.
So I can do conditioning and lift and steam room and all that stuff. So other than that, I mean, as far as the ball, we don't have option.
Yeah. The last time you played a game was March 10th. And in a couple of days, that'll mark a month since the last game you played. Does it feel like a month or does it feel like a year?
It feels like a year. It feels more like a year. I think, like right the night before All-Star Weekend, I strained my groin.
Yeah.
So I think that was February 12th. So from February 12th until it was maybe a month later, I missed the All-Star Weekend. Then I missed 6 games post-All-Star, the first 6 games post-All-Star, and then I came back and played like 4 games. And that time period was about a month, and I still felt like, time was passing, but not a lot because I was still going in and working out, getting treatment, following the team. I was at practice. I just had stuff to do. Now it's been a month of just nothing. Like I'm in the house every day. I'm on daddy daycare time every day. It's like, it's 2 completely different things, but both times it was a month off for me.
Yeah, and isn't it strange? I mean, at least it feels this way to me. You have to kind of develop a new rhythm to your life. I mean, It's just everything was so disrupted, and now, like my wife and I were talking the other day, and we said, "Hey, this almost felt a little bit like a regular day because we had something to occupy our time, and we had kind of gotten into the rhythm. Okay, now this happens and this happens." You see the same thing?
I mean, I haven't had a regular day. I mean, because I'm used to getting up about 9 o'clock, heading out for practice. And after practice, I got to do media, and I get a lift in, then I get treatment. So, I mean, it's usually like 2 o'clock by the time I get home. My son is in the middle of his nap. He wake up, and, it's like the day goes by much faster because you're more active. I haven't had one of those days. Like me and my fiance, we work out together. We take my son to the gym with us sometimes. So it's like we haven't had that break from each other. Like she might go get some coffee or something like that, and I'll go watch a Netflix show for a second, and we'll separate from each other in that moment, but it hasn't been a normal day. Like I feel like a stay-at-home dad, like a stay-at-home mom, like I'm a trust fund kid or something. We just living off of that, just with each other 100% of the time.
So what is it you've been watching then on Netflix? Got any recommendations for folks?
Have you watched All American?
All American? No, I have not watched All American.
I'll give you a whole list. All American. All American got 2 seasons. Ozark has 3 seasons.
We're all over Ozark.
Ozark.
Yep.
The
see
Stranger.
Knives Out? Did you see Knives Out? The movie Knives Out?
I haven't.
Check that out. Are you doing Tiger King?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna get around to it. Everybody talking about it, so I gotta check it out.
Okay, you've been warned. So how much communication is there between you and your teammates, you and your coaching staff? How much are you guys? I mean, is it texting? You guys calling? What's that vibe?
I mean, I text with our coaching staff pretty often, like our assistants. I text with Terry a few times. Since all this stuff happened, maybe 4 or 5 times. We've been texting. My son getting in trouble right now. But I've texted with them. Obviously, I text with my teammates. We got a team group chat that we, is constant. But CJ, Hassan, Nurk, Zach, I mean, I've talked to those guys FaceTime with CJ all the time. So that's it.
What's the overall feeling you get from them? I mean, is there, are these guys confused about what's going on? Are they down at all? Are you optimistic at all? I mean, when we talked to Adam the other day, he said, look, there's not going to be any kind of a decision in the month of April about what we might be able to do. So what are the discussions you have with your teammates like?
I mean, I think some people are optimistic. Other guys are just like, man, I'm going into summer free agency. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people worried, some people optimistic, some people like I missed the game. I mean, it's been a little bit of everything. It's a weird situation. You know, it's different. And for me, I'm even like, man, are we gonna play? I'm training and doing all this stuff, and in my mind, I'm almost like, well, I'm just gonna use this as a head start for possibly next season to just get into good shape and just be training and try to be in the best shape of my life for that. But I mean, we really don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I know that. Look, if the league does come back, you know, is there going to be a continuation and a finish of the regular season, or will it go right to the playoffs? And here you are on a team that's sitting number 9 and
Right.
saying, you know, we needed to get hot down the stretch to get in the playoffs. So how do you, I mean, if they left the decision to you, Dame, and said, okay, we're coming back, what should we do? What's your plan?
If we're gonna come back, let's come back and do it. I mean, if we come back, we already gonna be further along into the year than we would have been. So I think it's only right to play it out. Like you said, us in the 9 seed, and not only are we the 9 seed, we have one of the easier schedules in our final 15, 16 games, and the team in the 8th spot has the toughest. So we're looking at that like, how can you just go straight into the playoffs when we're in the position that we're in and they're up against what they're up against? So I think you got to play it out. I don't think you can just penalize teams who are, you know, on the outside looking in because they're on the outside at that time and we're not getting an opportunity to finish. So
how much time would you need to be game ready?
Game ready? Like if they said, all right, we want to start back.
Hey, we've been cleared by health officials that we can start back. How long would it take you to be ready to play a game?
Maybe a week. I mean, if they wanted to say what's up. Say what's up.
Hey. So there's your 2-year-old, huh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, go to mama. Go change. He ain't
Gotta work
out. He ain't listening.
Hey,
Stop.
he can hang. Look, we're at home, Dame. He can hang.
I know.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. But
Yeah,
it's going to be tougher for some guys, is it not, than others to get ready if they haven't had the opportunity like you've had to stay in shape.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough for everybody just because we haven't been allowed to go to any other facilities. You know, typically we would at least have access to some form of training. We don't have that. So I think some people just ad-libbing kind of, oh, I'm going to go run outside. Or I'm going to go, you know, just kind of do stuff like that. And I think that's not good enough or accurate enough for what we get typically, you know, for us to be ready to do what we do at the level we do it at. So it's going to be hard for a lot of people. It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And it could be a lot of bad basketball if it's not right. It could be the worst playoff ever.
Yeah. So how much time you finding to stay or to be in the studio? Because I think you were rarely referred to anymore as Damian. It's always Dame Dollar. So
yeah.
So what? How much time you in the studio and what you got coming up musically?
I got a mixtape that I'm about to put out, hopefully in the next week or two. And I was writing a bunch of music, but I needed to record it, but I didn't want to be in somebody's recording studio and it, not be clean and not be safe for me. So I actually started building out my studio in my house, and it's not all the way done. But once I do that, I'll record it pretty quick because I already wrote all the songs. I already got everything done. I got a song with Shaq.
I was going to say, is there really this collaboration between you guys who had some fun back and forth? I don't think it was ever really an ill-tempered kind of a thing. And
no, it wasn't at all. It wasn't at all.
But so give me a hint of what that's all about.
I mean, like you said, I went on a show. And I said that I thought I was a better rapper. So, I mean, Shaq, he put a track out. I put one back. We went back and forth. We shot it out. But it was no hard feelings. It was just lyrical sparring. We got that out of the way, but it was no real issue there. But we decided to do a song together.
So you're still doing your Fridays too? Your competition on Fridays?
Yeah.
Your
I mean,
4-bar?
Yeah, 4-bar Friday. I mean, I've been doing it since 2013, 2014, and it's just taking off more and more. You know, we get hundreds and hundreds of artists participating each week, and we figure out ways to, you know, reward them for being loyal to, you know, that platform. We've had competitions at All-Star Weekend. We fly them out, get them All-Star Saturday, some to the All-Star Game. Prizes, just a lot of stuff like that. Features, we get them features with, you know, on some of the albums and stuff like that. But we partnered with Rap Genius, you know, one of the more popular hip hop pages on Instagram. And now I'm hosting.
I partner with them too. Yeah.
So I'm basically hosting my 4-bar Friday show from their page.
All right.
Like right now during this time, and we basically bring on eight MCs, and they get to rap over the same beat, and we just go from 8 to 4 to a final, and then whoever's the best, we pick a winner. And in the meantime, we get people like chiming in, giving feedback on video. Like last week, we had Sway come in, we had Charlemagne. We had a lot of people come in, and this week I got more of my peers that I spoke to that I'm trying to get to come in, and then a few rappers to kind of just shine a light on a lot of these aspiring artists.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think when you look at, you're going to be 30 years old this summer, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Which, it doesn't seem possible. And, 2013 Rookie of the Year. And what do you think your message is, or your story is, for a kid out there who may be playing high school ball? And like when you were in high school, it wasn't like the world stopped and everybody said, "Look at this guy, Damian Lillard."
Yeah.
I mean, you had to prove yourself to a lot of people. What do you think the message is that you try to send out to young basketball players?
The message that I try to send out is that it's a lot more out there who'll be in my situation than there will be in a LeBron James situation. You know, LeBron is somebody that I got a great amount of respect for because he's been such a big deal since he was a teenager. And all eyes have been on him since he was a teenager, and he lived up to it on the court. He's lived up to it off the floor. He's lived up to it with all the business that he does, you know. So how many people are going to be able to be LeBron James? Not many. It's going to be tough. You know, when you talk about somebody in the Michael Jordan category and the Kobe Bryant category. Right. But I think for a lot of these kids, they need to see the power and the strength in who I am, you know, and why I've been fortunate enough to be in the NBA. Like, just character and work ethic and knowing how to treat people and caring about people, doing stuff the right way, being consistent, being coachable, listening, pouring into other people. I think all of those things allowed me to be the 6th pick and give me the opportunity that I got. And then once I got here, being consistent at that all the time allowed me to just keep getting better. And that's a lot to commit to, and that's a lot to know. You know, I had a lot of people in my life that, you know, taught me these things, like my dad, my AAU coach, Raymond Young, or the assistant coach, my AAU team, Phil Taylor, Dame Jones, Phil Beckner, the guy I played for in college, and he trains me to this day. So, I mean, Chris Farr, a lot of these lessons and things that I learned about, you know, how to be as a person and how to treat situations and how to be in certain situations kind of pushed me into this direction, you know. So I'm not the most talented, the most gifted and all that stuff, but I have stuff about me that I had to work on that put me in this position that a lot of other kids can kind of challenge themselves to work on and give them a better chance too.
You know what I loved about that? There was a lot to love about that answer, but you know what I really love is how you can remember the names of all of these coaches and these guys along the way who poured into you to make you who you are now. And I would assume that there are still times when you reach out and talk to these guys, correct?
Oh yeah, I talk to them all. I mean, regularly. When I go home to Oakland, that's who I visit with. That's who I am connected with. Because it's weird because once we get to like the NBA or you become an all-star or get a max contract, it seems like people feel like we're disconnected from our roots or people that like we've always known. When I mean, for me, it's the exact opposite. Like I go home and when I get to the airport, I don't have a car service. Like one of my friends' moms or my auntie or my grandmother, somebody just pull up to the curb and pick me up. Like it's regular.
Yeah.
It's just
You know
normal,
what?
man.
And I think that's important too, because I think there are probably some youth coaches out there, high school coaches, AAU, whatever. There are probably coaches out there who have watched their players get to that next level, have gotten to an elite level in their profession, and have, don't hear much from them anymore. But you know what? It just makes the day of a coach to have a player from years ago call up and say, hey, you know what? Just want to let you know I've never forgotten you, and thanks for kind of leading me down that path. Hey, look, when you went to Weber State, how much did you know about Ogden, Utah before you got there?
I didn't know a whole lot, and I remember, I never forget when they first. So Weber was the first school to recruit me. I had a AAU game, and we was playing in Dallas, and we showed up to the gym. It was like a 10 a.m. game, and I didn't play on a big-time AAU team. So when we get there, it was nobody at the game. It was just like one of the first games being played. And right before we tipped, just, a little short white dude walk up, with his polo on. And I'm just like, so Raym Young, my AAU coach, tapped me like, that's Weber State. And at the time, I knew who Weber State was because I used to create a player on the college basketball game and put them on Weber State because they was one of the lowest level schools on the game. So I would lead like a small school to a national championship on the video game. That's the only way I knew what Weber State was.
You're kidding me.
So I was like, I swear on my son.
I mean, that is an incredible story. Keep going.
Yeah. So like that's how I knew Weber State. So at the time I wasn't like, I'm gonna go there. I was just like, oh, I know what Weber State is because I used to create my player and put them on there on the old March Madness game. So I had a big game. I had a great game. After the game, he offered me a scholarship, and they started recruiting me. So they was the first school to start recruiting me, and I just developed the relationship with them. We all got really tight, and every other coach started to sound like they was blowing smoke. So I was learning about the city of Ogden. As I got to know them, they was just kind of sharing stuff. And then Johnny Bryant, who's the assistant coach for the Utah Jazz, I grew up under him in Oakland and, trained with him when I was really younger. He went to the University of Utah, so he was the one that was really telling me, like, it's not that bad. I know it's a Mormon state, but you're going to be all right. I'm out here with you. Like, it's going to be cool. And my grandmother in my other ear, like, you ain't going to no Mormon state and you ain't, so I had to really make a decision for myself. And I trusted Johnny's word. I trusted Coach Ray and Coach Gardner and Coach Duff. I trusted all their word, and I ended up making a great decision. I met some of my best friends there, a lot of people that I'm still connected to there as well. That really had an impact on me, and also played a part in me, becoming who I am now.
How many tats you got?
Tattoos?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't even know how to count them individually. I got a full sleeve on the right, a full sleeve on the left.
So,
chest.
So what's the most meaningful?
The most meaningful is, I would say, this one. I don't know if y'all can see it on my forearm right here. That's my dad. That's my uncle, Richard. This is my grandmother. This is my grandmother. It's my grandfather and my mom. So it's like a Rushmore, for all of the, the most important people in my life. So that's probably my favorite one. That's the most meaningful.
Yeah. Because I know you got a Psalm 37. Psalm 37 is on there.
Yeah.
And I was looking. See, I got the Bible app on my phone,
Yeah.
So before we did this, I said, let me see what Psalm 37 is all about. And, and trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, enjoy safe pasture. I mean, where does your faith play in the game of basketball and in your daily life? Because if you're going to put that on your body, Dame, people are going to look at it and say, well, let's see if he's walking that walk.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, when I first got it, I was just moved by a sermon that I attended when I was back home over the summer. So it was like out of that scripture, Psalms 37, verse 1-6. So like I was moved by that because I felt like I was in that position, where I needed to just have faith and not worry about what was going on for everybody else and what people were saying and doubting, what I was capable of and what I could do. Treating people right, doing the right things, a lot of what that scripture is about, I felt like is what I needed. So I was moved just by that one sermon to get it, but I wasn't quite walking that walk. Me personally, I was, but I wasn't taking the whole thing in. And it wasn't until recently, maybe the last year, where I, before games, I started going to every chapel. I started going to church when I was home on Sundays, doing Bible study, group chats and stuff like that, because I felt like I just needed that presence in my life, that stability. And I feel like I've gotten that. It's brought me peace, over the last year, since I really started walking that walk and taking the steps to, be more serious about my faith.
Has that been something that in a time like this, I mean, there's a lot of fear out there, and when you hear about faith over fear and that kind of thing, and you hear how people are trying to deal with all the ramifications of this, and has that helped you?
Like I said, it brings you peace, because a lot of the things in the word, they come to life. You see it. You see it in everyday life. You're like, oh, that's why when people go to church and they hear a word, they like, I feel like he's talking to me, because these are things that you see in everyday life. So for me, I'm just like, I'm putting my faith in that. I'm putting my faith in, the Lord, and understanding that this too shall pass. I feel like it'll come to pass, and it's unfortunate for everybody that will be and has been affected by it. And who knows, it might come closer to me, and it could have happened to me. It could happen to me. But I'm not going, I guess, live and worry. I'm gonna put my faith in the right place. And, that's what I've been doing.
So as you approach the age of 30 right now, hate to keep bringing that up, but it's just a number, man. Okay,
that's scary,
so don't worry
man.
about it. But what would you say to the younger you as you have gone through college and into adulthood now, and going to be a 30-something? What would your best advice be to the younger Damian Lillard?
My advice to the younger Damian Lillard would be just stay present in the journey. Like, I feel like when I was a freshman in college, I was starting, and I was like, I want to be MVP. I got to start working towards this. And then next year I was like, I want to get drafted. So I was always like working for the next thing. And then when I entered the draft, and then it was like, I heard my coaches doing interviews and my teammates and professors on campus just doing interviews about when he did this and when this happened. And he had a presentation in my class, and I was just, it was a great presentation, and I was impressed because he didn't expect it. And then my history teacher, telling a story about me falling asleep in class. Like, it was so many things that people was saying in interviews and kind of speaking about over the course of my 4 years as in college. And I was like, man, like I wasn't completely present in embracing those times, and I can't go back and do it. And now that I'm 8 years into my NBA career, it's kind of the same. Like, I've been like, I'm trying to make the All-Star team. I want to get a max contract. I'm trying to win MVP. I'm trying to get to the championship. You know, all these things, and a lot of great things have happened. And I always find myself like looking back. Like yesterday, they replayed Game 6 against Houston on the local station in Portland, and I watched the game, and I was just like, man. At that time, like right after I hit the shot, I remember that night I was like looking forward to like, we can go to the finals, we can win it. You know, I never, even when the season ended, I was like, we lost. Now next year we gotta come back better. And like I always just move on from stuff. Even the Oklahoma City shot, it was the same thing. Like we lost in the Western Conference Finals, and I was like, we gotta take the next step and get to the finals. And now when I look back at it, I'm just like, man, I just have a hard time embracing like these moments and like sitting in them for a while, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because I want to close this out with a fan question that was submitted. And it says, in the clutch moments, can you describe what goes through your mind that allows you to rise to the occasion?
Usually like when I'm in those moments, I'm like telling myself like I'm about to come up big. I'm not literally saying you're about to come up big. It's just like in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to win the game or I'm about to end the game. I don't think, I think it's because I know that everybody says, you know, I work hard and I do all this stuff, but in my heart, I know that I really do like work really hard on the court, and then I go work hard in my conditioning, and then I work hard in the weight room. I know that like I treat people the right way. I know that I know that I do things the right way. I'm not perfect, but I know that I've done everything to give myself favor and to give myself the best chance to be successful. So like I don't go into those moments thinking about like what a negative outcome could be. It just don't cross my mind. So I always feel like I'm coming up big. So I don't have worry. You know, I don't fear that because I don't fear failing. Because if I fail, I know it's not because I didn't do my work or I didn't prepare myself. It's just because that's part of it. So I rise to it because I don't worry about it. I don't go into those last plays or those last minutes and moments worried.
When it's all said and done in your career, what will your comfortable shooting range be? Because right now it's up to where, 35 feet?
I mean, I could pull up from half court comfortably. The only reason I haven't done it is because I don't want to push it that far consistently because that's just crazy. But I can literally do it like easily. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in one of these games. Watch. No, literally from the half court line. Watch.
I can't wait. And I can't wait to look at my cohorts and say, he told me he was going to do that. He told me while we were waiting for the season to get back in, he was going to launch one.
I'm going to do it too. I told Terry I'm going to do it too. And he was like, well, I used to get mad when you shot those deep threes and now you just make them because you work at it. It's a good shot for you. Take it. I was like, I'm going to do it. I gave him the warning already.
Hey, you know what? We can't wait to see it. I mean, and I know you as a player, you guys can't wait to get out there. We can't wait to watch it some more. And let's just, we'll see what we're allowed to do. We'll see how it all plays out. But, in the meantime, you've been so gracious with your time today, Dame. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I know you got to get a workout in. You probably got to change a diaper about now, too.
Man, I think that's what he was getting in trouble for, man. Because he's potty training. He's doing this potty training thing right now, so he probably ain't following instructions, man. So that's why he ran to me, because he thought I was going to save him.
You got a lot going on in your life right now, man. Good luck to you. Dame, thanks. All right, bro.
Yep. All right.
See you.